Okay, more on the Malibu 2010. We're going to select the 2010 Chevrolet Malibu 2.4 LS package, gas engine, not the flex fuel, and really everything else falls into place there. All right, we're going to deal with the chassis. Look under chassis. Brakes is under chassis system. So under chassis, I've selected that. We're going to hit brakes again. And analog control with traction control and stability control. They really, all three work together from the same module, same wheel speed sensors. Now, system description is a great place to start when diagnosing anything. I'm going to go to the system description and look at this. It mentions, ABS, dynamic rear proportioning. There's no more hydraulic valves. The anti-lock brake system does all the front and rear proportioning for the system. Traction control, vehicle stability. So, following components are involved with the operating of these systems. We have an EBCM, that's the electronic brake control module. So the EBCM controls what's going on with dynamic control, or dynamic rear proportioning, traction control, stability control, etc. The components in the system, there's a relay, there's brake pressure sensors, there's a brake pressure modulator valve, and the electronic brake control module bolts or screws onto this system here. There's a motor, a pump motor, and valves, and master cylinder, and all those kind of things. So system description is probably a neat thing to go get familiar with. Now, I also want to go look at, okay, so let's say you get a diagnostic code. Well, here's some diagnostic information. And let's just say we happen to get a code 35, somewhere between a 35 and a 50. We can go look up the codes. In fact, maybe I should go look up the actual code index right above it. All the code 35 and 50s are either a right front, left front, right rear. Those are sensor codes. And there's other codes that talk about circuit. So it may not be the actual sensor, it might be a connector or a wire. Maybe it's a broken wire. Quite often we find broken wires because look where the wheels or the wires are located. They're down by the wheels where mud and dirt and debris are. Sometimes the circuit or the code description involves the pump motor. Okay, so diagnostic code index. But under diagnostic codes here, let's go find out a little bit more. For example, conditions for setting the DTC. Can you zoom in on that? It's one thing to get a code, but it's far better to go find out what were the conditions that set this DTC. One wheel speed is less than 20% of the maximum of the other wheels for 5 seconds. Or at least one wheel of the remaining wheel speeds is greater than 8 miles per hour. There has been no vehicle acceleration above 21 miles per hour, okay. Or 2 wheel speed sensor circuits are less than 20% of the maximum of the others for 120 seconds. That's 2 minutes. You get an idea as to what set the code. That's valuable. It's one thing to get a code, but it's to understand what it took to, once again, set that code. Action taken. I'm going to grab one more. So action taken when DTC sets. This is pretty simple. When a DTC sets on a brake or traction control setup system, the EBCM disables analog brakes, TCS, traction control, and the vehicle stability control for the duration of the ignition cycle. The driver information center, the little information digital display on this instrument cluster, will display a warning or turn on the light. And that, my friends, is a little bit more about wheel speed, sensors, diagnostics, etc. Thank you.